So now Jim Horton is here to tell us a little bit about his Sunbeam Tiger, and Chip Foose has done a very special Sunbeam Tiger here. I'll let you two figure out how you want to explain all the changes.
Well, actually, let's have Jim tell us the history of the car before we stole it from him for overhauling.
Okay, so I bought this car when I was 18 years old, and the engine was broken. The guy had put a hot rod 289 in it, and he set the original engine aside, so I bought it like that in pieces. I put it together. It was red in the front, green in the back. Turns out that guy had done that himself in his driveway, and it wasn't quite right. But so I had this car all these years. I drove my son Andrew, I drove him to Little League T-ball in the car. But then it's been sitting dead for years. I've tore it all apart. A buddy of mine rebuilt the engine, but it was like never gonna come back together. Well, one day, a guy named Chris Jacobs shows up at my work talking about something else, and he said, "Oh, have you heard of overhauling?" Well, yeah, I've heard of overhauling. And he said, "Well, maybe we can get your car on our show." And he reached in his bag like he's gonna pull out a paper and pen, and he pulls out a microphone, a walkie-talkie, and he says, "Bring in the tow truck." I'm like, and here come the cameras and the tow truck, and then he took it away. I never saw it again until the day of the reveal, when Chip walked me all around and showed me all the subtle things. It's amazing all the work they did. But you want to take it from there?
Well, we have a mark and we have an insider. Now, the insider was his son Andrew, who, told us about the car. And then I sat down with Andrew and I said, "Okay, what do you know that he wanted to do to it?" "Well, I know that he wants it white," and he said a few things, but I said, "Okay." I said, "What if we do this?" And in my mind, I was thinking it'd be really fun because Carroll Shelby built a few of these, and I thought it'd be really cool to make it look more like Shelby took it a little bit further. So we added the whole bottom gravel pan underneath the bumper, and I brought the white stripes all the way under. I used that's actually a scoop from a 65 Mustang that I modified and cut down, made it a little bit smaller, and we changed all the wheel wells. Now this car, the whole front end was off of the car, and there were parts of the sheet metal that was missing. But these have a beautiful line through the fender that always ended right up here, and then it picked up again on the rear quarter. I went ahead and extended that line all the way through the car. And there's just little subtle things that we did. And I wanted the dash to look like a leather-wrapped Cobra dash. And this had a wooden dash in it, but I made it look more like what Carroll Shelby was doing with the Cobras. And he was really my inspiration. What would Carroll do? And then the wheels they look like a Cobra wheel. And it was a pleasure to do. It was a ton of sheet metal work because there was no rear end on it and there was no front end. You had doors and a little bit of sheet metal here and there, but we had to fabricate and build and create what you see today.
Wow. So how long did it take in real life?
In real life, I believe we did this car in about 3 weeks.
In 3 weeks?
Yes. Was it 3 weeks?
3 weeks?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing.
Start to finish. Well, we had about 60 people helping.
That helps a lot.
Yes. So, I used to have people say, how the heck can you do it? And, we used to do it in 8 days in the beginning of overhauling. But like I say, we had 65, 70 people helping us. And when you're working around the clock, in 8 days, that's just over three weeks of work. So, because there's 24 hours a day, and 8 hours is 1 day's work. We were working 24 hours a day. So every day was 3 days for each of us. So if there was 50 of us working 8 days, that's actually 3 times 8 days. So 24 days, 50 of us, that's a lot of days.
That sounds almost as bad as Art Center.
Well, I used to say, if we had 2 days left to get a car finished, and I had 10 guys working on it, and I figured, okay, there's 10 guys here, we can do that 3, so we got 30 days each day, and we got 2, so we got 60 days to get this done in 2 days. So I'd have a little team meeting, and I'd tell them, we got 60 days to have this done in 2 days. Can we do it? Everybody agreed, yeah, we can do that.
Unbelievable.
That's how we got them done.
Wow. I would imagine some of the talent in Southern California is more willing to work with crazy deadlines like that.
It's interesting what television does and how many people want to help when we're doing something cool for somebody deserving. So he's been teaching students for years how to work on cars. couldn't get on his own car, so we had to help him a little bit. So thank you, Jim, for all you do.
Well, thank you.
Yep. Sometimes people just need a little bit of help, and something really good can happen. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.